Hey everyone, I'm FM Greeno. Welcome along to day 9 of Help Will Come Tomorrow. This is our survival game where we are in 1917 Siberia. We have 4 survivors of a train wreck caused by some local renegades blowing up their train. They escaped, they're in the forest and trying to get by until help arrives. As you can see, we've had some pretty heavy snow overnight. Everything they've built so far has been covered in snow. So we'd better get into the day and see what we can do to sort that out. Yesterday was an exciting day. We had our first real brush with the renegades, and we had a hail of bullets coming towards us, but we managed to escape pretty much unscathed. We also had a little trip down to the railway to see if any workers from the local railway station had come up the line to look for us, but nobody was there. So anyway, day 9 now. We have plenty of things to do. We got a new task here, desperately seeking Pietia. This is Maria's little brother, who she believes to still be alive and probably hiding out on the train somewhere. So that means a little expedition down to try and find him at some point. Not sure if that's going to be today or not. We'll see. We also could do with going back east again to see if we can find if those railway workers are coming today. I would guess if it's a heavy snow day, as it says here, they probably wouldn't bother. And we still have a chance to go back up to the woodcutter's cottage. Of course, we haven't done that yet. I think there's probably going to be some more resources up there. I think we might need to take some tools with us. So that could be a task for us to think about today, making some stuff that would help with that little task. But first up, we have to get rid of all this snow. So let's take it in turns to get around and everyone can have a go. So we'll come down here, we'll send Maria. She can unsnow the fireplace. There we are. It doesn't seem to have been damaged in any way, so that's pretty good. Can see here, let's see, does it tell you 44%? So that's okay. So then we'll come up here. Whose turn is it going to be now? We'll send Sergei up here to do this. So he's taken the snow away from that. Used one of his action points in doing so, but that's okay. Now, one thing I do want to try and think about here is to make a bed, because if we do that, that means 2 people can rest at the same time. Now, we do have just about enough rags. And we do have enough wood to do that. So maybe that's something we can think about doing today. But, like I say, first things first. Let's get all this snow cleared off. So Edward Gray can come and do this one. Good job. Now, this is the workshop area where we really want to come and try and build some tools. Maybe some snares might be an idea if we have enough material for that. Actually, let's see if that is something we can actually do. So let's see. Does it count as a weapon, maybe? No. So obviously we don't have that there just yet. Maybe we need to upgrade it to one of these areas. I think we have the hardened table already, don't we? Yeah. So does it say anything about snares on there? It doesn't. Maybe the game flaying point? I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Right, who's going to come up in here and do the quarantine point? Well, Dimitri has spent most time up here. He's never very fond of doing these menial little tasks around, but he seems to have done that one without too much complaint. And then we have just up here the palisade. So we will send Maria to come and do this one. There we go. So we've had to use 5 action points to do this. Maria is now exhausted, so she's probably going to be the one that makes use of the shelter today. We do need to get the fire going, of course, so let's get some fuel on here. We'll go with... You can use mould, can't you? So let's stick some mould on the fire. Let's get that up to like 20% or something like that. Of course, with it being heavy snow, that reduces the camp visibility. So it's only 20% at the moment, which is pretty good. And a 20% level fire is adequate enough for them. So now... do we have anything for breakfast? I'm not sure if we already made any soup or anything. We have got some soup here. So, and we have some honey. Now, I was interested to find, when we had the honey, I don't know whether we have an option to cook anything with that. So, let's have a little look. If there's anything in here that uses honey. The fruit tea uses berries. Herbal tea, no. So maybe we just have to eat that. I think probably that's it. I think that'll be a good thing for their morale as well. So maybe we'll try that with one of the guys who's got low morale. Sergei's at 40. Maria 27. And to be honest, we've been pretty unkind to her. She makes all the soup, and then everyone else eats it, and we give her a pile of bugs. So this is going to increase morale. Gives off a lot of energy. So let's give that to her. There we go. She is happy with that. And that's increased her morale to 42, which is great. Okay, perfect. So we do have other things we have to take care of. Everybody's a little bit hungry. Everyone's a little bit thirsty. We do have this soup to give out, though, so everyone else can have the soup. That should deal with the hunger pretty effectively. Yeah, nobody's hungry at all. We need some water here. Do we have any water, or are we going to have to filter some? We're going to have to filter some. Okay, so maybe we will get Sergei to come and do this. So he comes down to the campfire. And you can filter some water. There we go. That's another thing that we can actually do. We can upgrade this water filter. We have some charcoal. Actually, if we come back down to here, let's have a look and see how we would go about doing that. So a large water filter makes it possible to get more drinking water. We have charcoal. We do have some material, although I really want to use that in the shelter area. And structure. We have stones and that sort of thing. So again, that's something we can maybe do in the next day or so. Upgrade that, and then we'll have a bit more water to play with every day. So what are we going to do next? I do wonder whether we think about making a little expedition, or whether we think about making the shelter. I would quite like to go out and see what else we can get. We've got quite a lot of food kicking around. We've got some rotten food, which isn't great. We're pretty much okay in terms of if we want to make another soup or something. We've got bugs. I don't think we've got any berries left. I think they're maybe the things that have gone off here. So yeah, we're kind of okay, but we could do with finding some more. And I'm quite interested to see how these two guys would do on an expedition together. Now, it's heavy snowing, so we want to be a little bit careful about where we go. So derailed passenger cars, and this is a risky area to go to, but this is where our mission is. If we head over this way, this is all risky over here. This is where the tracks to the east are, where we would go looking to see if the other guys from the railway station have come. Like I say, I just don't think they're going to have done so. So I do wonder, even if it's risky, whether we take a chance and come down here and take care of this task today or not. We seem to have got away with things up till now, although we did have that little brush with the renegades yesterday, so I want to be mindful of that a little bit. Come on, let's do it. Let's see if we can find any trace of young Pietia. So, it's been a while since the crash, and the car of the HWCT class you reach is all covered with snow. This part of the train suffered greatly during the robbery. The renegades blew up the span preceding it. The HWCT derailed, and the carriages pushing at the back broke it in half. Passengers travelling inside had no chance of survival. Maria, however, knows that Pietia did not travel in the HWCT. She initiated you into her plan. On both sides of the car, there were luggage rooms in which her brother knew various hiding places. If he survived the catastrophe, he might have left a message for her there. Pietia and Maria came up with a code to communicate when they didn't want them to be overheard by the passengers or the rest of the rail service. So you search the indicated places. Of course, all valuable items were plundered by the renegades long ago. But you still find an overlooked set of warm clothes and a few useful things. Oh, cool. So that means warm clothes obviously going to keep the cold out a bit better. Unfortunately, there is no message. According to Maria's guidelines, you draw a few cipher characters in case Pietia looks in this place. That's all you can do right now. So, we have found some decent quality clothes and some beans. Well, that's good for the soup. So we'll take all of that. Now, do we head on anywhere else and see if we can find something else to eat? I wouldn't mind finding some more of those berries if we can get there, but I'm mindful of using too many action points, so there's still some things I want to do in the camp. But we've managed to search this area and not use any action points in doing so. Not found anything of spectacular use, but better to have it than not. And we'll head to the area with the berries and we'll search here and see if we can find any of them. Again, we didn't use any action points. Oh, what have we got here? Exploring another region of the inhospitable forest, you come across strange tracks. They are fresh and clear. You watch them for a very long time and with growing consternation. You don't need great perceptiveness to notice that 3 limbs have left them. 1 shod and 2 with hoofs. You come to the conclusion that either a 1-legged man wandered this way in the company of a 2-legged deer. Okay. Or a 3-legged deer walked in 1 shoe. I don't think either of those are terribly likely, are they? Ultimately, it could be a 1-legged person supported with 2 canes from deer legs. Okay, well that makes a bit more sense. What's here? Or a breath of icy wind interrupts vain considerations. You move on quickly. Oh, we got... Well, we didn't find anything here, but let's... Oh, we've lost an action point there, but we did find some berries and some eggs. There's an animal here, but obviously we haven't seen whatever that is. I think we're going to return to the camp now. We've picked up a few bits and bobs. We've completed the mission that we had to complete. It was good, even though it was risky. We didn't really come by any harm. So, we don't have an awful lot of action points left. We've only got 3 action points. So I think what we're probably going to do is come up here and we're going to upgrade to make this isolated bed. So who's going to work together? I do. So he always makes things better, but nobody likes him. So if I put these 2 together, it really impacts Sergei's morale. So if we take him out, how about Maria? Can she work with him? Now, he really likes her, and she kind of likes him a bit better than Sergei does. So, I have a feeling those are the 2 guys we're going to be using. So we're using all of our rags here. We should have plenty of wood here. Yeah, we only need some needles or something. So, that's fine. So we upgrade. They're working on the bed. It looks like they've made it. No failure here. Perfect. Oh, another little trait here from Maria. The character has a chance to recover AP from the repair of camp structures or tools. Okay. And a tailor. Character has a chance to recover AP while making clothes and the sack. Okay, so she's proving to be fairly useful around the camp then. That's good. So, we can come out of here. So we should have a bed here now. So if I want to send people to rest... I can't see a bed. It says it's there though, so okay. So we can send 2 people up here to rest later today. And obviously these 2 look very, very tired. So maybe they can go and have a little kip together. So just 1 action point left. And normally when we get into that situation, we just come and filter some water. I just want to have a quick check about this upgrading of the water filter. Is that a 1-person job potentially? Can they do it by himself? Or has it got to be a 2-person job? Oh, we don't have the material for it anyway, so... Okay, forget that idea. Just filter some water, Sergei. We'll use that in the morning. Maria can do a nice little job of making some soup, as she does very well. So, go on, Sergei. Actions, filter water. Down you come, son. Look a bit more cheerful. Now we're going to go through and check the morale of these 2 guys. Just to see whether we need to give them anything to perk them up a little bit. To make sure that they get their action points. Like I say, camp morale here is at 94%. So that's really good. And the morale of Dmitri and Sir Edward are very, very high. His health seems to be going down a little bit, but not to any concerning level. But where are we here with Sergei? So he has 50 morale. Well, that's better than it has been for a while. That's good. And Maria, oh, hers has gone up to 62. Okay. So we're making some progress on that for sure. So I think we can probably just about save all of the resources we've got. Let's just be double sure with Sergei. He's not hungry at all. Maybe we'll just give him a cigarette. Just to bump him up a little bit in case he loses any morale in the talks around the campfire shortly. So, like I say, we're going to come up here, we're going to rest, and who was, actually I can't even remember who was the tiredest. So Maria and Dmitri. Okay. So they can come up here and rest. Hopefully they'll both be able to fit in. Yes. Okay, so they can both rest now. That's going to sort them out. That's really going to help in terms of having 2 spaces where people can rest now. Of course, the resting action here doesn't use any action points, whereas if you come up to the quarantine point, there is an area up there where you can kind of recuperate a little bit, but it does cost you an action point to do it. So that's really helpful. Okay, so I think we've achieved everything we're going to achieve here during the day today. So time for us to go into the night time and see what these guys are going to have to talk about around the campfire tonight. Oh, here we go. When it's getting dark, a swarm of hungry birds begins to circle above the camp, hoping that there is some treat in your pantry. Damned scroungers. You can't scare them away once and for all to avoid bringing more misfortune to the camp. Instead, you spend half an evening laboriously shaking the branches so the birds finally fly away. So as usual, we have 5 potential discussion points around the fire here. Where are we actually? 7th Betty, undercutting the branch, good manners, and demons from the past. So how about this? Where are we actually? I don't think we've seen that one before, but it would be kind of good to find out. Listen, does anyone know where we are right now? And don't say that in the woods or trouble, because I know it, even without asking. Somewhere on the line, the Trans-Siberian Railway. Before the disaster, we crossed one of the influences of Selenga. The last stop was possibly in Misovaya. Okay. In other words, we are in the heart of the land, to which our tyrants sent social workers, reformers, statesmen, and generally anyone who wanted people to have a better life. This is the revolutionary coming out in Maria. Maybe it's not as bad as we think. If this is a center of altruists, maybe there are some settlements of hospitable Siberians or hunting rooms with a stove and provisions. Is it far from here to Baikal or, good lord, Vychnyudinsk? Okay. Not sure I pronounced that right, but there we are. Don't make fun of serious matters. The Tsar was sending prisoners here exactly because they had a hard time, and so they could not escape. So, a choice here. So we are like the exiles, or why did you pick up the Tsar Batyushka so much? Well, we're not going to cause an argument. So we are like the exiles. What an irony! The Tsarism is already overthrown, and fate has sent us here, like more prisoners of conscience. So she now likes him a little bit better. So we have all the other options. Oh no, actually it's all changed a little bit. So we have Trans-Siberian Railway, 7th Betty, How to Survive Here, Business and Adventure, Demons from the Past. Well, 7th Betty must be about the gun, because we know that was called Betty. So let's have a little look at this. Mr. Edward, what kind of lark is it with this rifle? After the conversation, we expected an elegant gentleman hunting rifle or elephant shotgun. And in the meantime, we risked our lives for some leftovers. Yes, this is undoubtedly a peculiar matter. I drowned the first Betty in Lake Victoria, and the second one I had to abandon, fleeing from the swarm of wasps in Mosul. Wait, there were a few of them? What is your definition of the word faithful? Oh, yeah, of course he called it his faithful Betty, didn't he? There were actually 7 of them. Betty is a transitional name. I got used to it and call it all my long barrel weapons. The previous Lee Enfield was stolen from me in a Moscow hotel room, and I had to buy Mosin for the road because it fitted to an old case. Probably one of the thugs was disappointed when he opened the decorated case and found such a piece of junk inside. It's possible that someone broke Betty on his knee, or it suffered during the disaster. But it's nothing. The lock still works, and the barrel holds the line. If I had a comfortable workplace, I could restore Betty's splendor. Well, we do have a workplace, so can you do that? Without ammunition, it may serve as a toy pistol at the most. That makes a good point. Let's not lose heart. Maybe something will be found when we search the wreck. So camp morale has gone right up now. I think it's suggesting that we go back down to the wreck then to look for some ammunition for this gun, but I don't see much point in doing that until we've actually had the opportunity to fix it. So, something else to add to the ever-growing, lengthy list of tasks to do. So let's see how everyone's got on in the end-of-day summary. Oh, perfect. Look at this. Everyone has passed all of their morale tests. 3 action points for everyone for tomorrow. Now, I'm hoping we're not going to be covered in snow again, because that was a bit annoying. Oh, goodness. So the campfire is under snow. The workshop is under snow. But that's it. Okay, so we are going to have to use a couple of action points up for tomorrow. We're now in a blizzard, so that's reduced the camp visibility even further. I guess that's going to impact on our ability to undergo expeditions without getting lost. But we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I think it was a reasonable one. We've done pretty well. At least we've got a better shelter area now. And been out and done a couple more things. Didn't find Pietia, unfortunately. But you never know. The message that we've left might bring something on later in the game. If you have enjoyed this episode, please drop a like on there for me. And of course, if you've got any comments about what we've been up to so far, any hints or tips for things as we go forwards, please let me know in the comments section below. Of course, don't forget, if you're not subscribed to the channel, come and hop on the Greeno bus. There is plenty of room for you all. It just remains for me to thank you for watching, and we will see you soon for day 10 of Help Will Come Tomorrow. Bye for now.